when I'm relating to clients, I want to be a human being and their friend first. And then the real estate aspect naturally flows.
Oh my goodness. Welcome everyone. I'm so excited for Core 90 training with the community here at eXp Realty. We are so pumped that you guys are joining us today. And man, have we got some cool content. Because if you like running a profit forward business that's all about repeat and referral clients that keep coming back and don't cost you a ton of money in outbound referrals to these lead gen companies that are charging us out the yin yang these days, this training is just for you. It's going to be amazing. And we've got Kellie McHugh in the house. I'm so pumped for that. Kellie McHugh is out of Colorado Springs. She and her husband, Craig, run a powerhouse dynamo team out there. They sell a ton of real estate. She's one of the smartest people in real estate that I know. And she said, she'd be willing to do a training that she does all the time for people locally, but she wants to do it and open it up for people across the country to be able to check this out. How are pop-bys and client retention helping her to grow such a powerful position in the marketplace? And I think this is really, really amazing. So Kellie, thank you for being here. I'm going to bring you up on stage, and thanks for spending a little bit of time with the community today, telling us about pop-bys and client retention. What you got?
Good morning. Thanks, Jeff. I'm really glad to be here. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for taking the time out of your day to come and hopefully glean a couple nuggets. What I'm going to be sharing with you is not, it's not novel. It's not something that I've just created out of the blue. It's something that we've heard about, each one of us, over and over. Many people do client relations differently. They do pop-bys differently. And I'm of the school that copying is the best form of flattery. And on that light, if you guys see anything that you're interested in, you want the template for, just shoot me a text, shoot me an email, and I'm more than happy to share with that for you guys on Canva or whatever the resource was. Just so you know, I'm an open book. I want to help each other just to make things easier, more affordable, and not have to reinvent the wheel every time. So feel free to ask questions as we go. Don't feel like you have to wait. Type them in the comment box, or raise your hand, or just unmute yourself. I'm just, totally open for that, and asking questions. So where I'm going with this is the biggest stat that hit me as well as Craig when we first started with real estate was that on average 82% of buyers and sellers don't use the same agent that they used before. And I want you to really think about that, because if sales, listings and buyers are easy ways to get people into your database and that you can be nurturing. But if you just let them go without anything else, don't blame anybody but yourself if they choose somebody else. And I know that that's happened to us, even if we do touch base with them, and that just happens. And that's just life. You just move on. But hopefully the things that I'm going to share with you today will make it easier for you to be able to stay top of mind with people, and not slip through your hands as the weeks and months and years go by, when they're ready to buy or sell again. If you are if you're in our organization, you've heard me say this again and again, and I will always say this because this is probably my core, and this is why I do what I do, is you must be human first in relationship-driven, referral, client-based relations. You just have to be a human first. Being a realtor is down the list when I'm relating to clients. I want to be a human being and their friend first, and then the real estate aspect naturally flows. And it really hit home to me, especially during COVID, when we were all so isolated, and humanity has been still isolating itself. And with technology, the more experiencing technology, the more we kind of um, excuse ourselves from engaging with humans. I mean, look at AI. So my big line is be a human first, and everything else will fall into place. So I first mentioned the easiest way to get your clients to get relationships going is by your sales, by buyers and sellers. After every transaction, we send out a client questionnaire and a survey. And that is my way, my foothold to it's a warm kind of entry, like it's been hopefully a good experience. And they can fill this out and say what they like, what they didn't like, so you can do for reviews. And I encourage reviews, and I encourage them by going to these two different, Google or Zillow or Realtor.com or whatever, and I always offer $5 gift cards. So the more you give me a review, then the more gift cards I will send you. But also, more importantly for me in the long term, is that client questionnaire review form is a way for me to learn pertinent information about them and their family that I can touch on throughout the year. For example, birthdays. I want the client's birthdays. I want their anniversary date. I never ask for the years on their birthdays, just their birth dates. And then I always have space for their children's birthdays. And even if we have several clients who have 8, 10 children, I have them list all of those and any pets that they have. And then what I do is I put them into our CRM, and I don't care what CRM you're using. Or even if you're not using a CRM, you could still do it in your Google calendars. And I make a real estate marketing calendar. It's a separate color. It's a whole separate calendar as a backup when we weren't using a CRM. But you can put them in KV Core. You can put the primary client and the secondary client, like the spouse or partner's client. Birthday, unfortunately there's no place for an anniversary date and a close date you can put on there, but there's not custom fields. So for example, when we use Follow Up Boss, I have everything in there. So then when I pull up the calendar, then it will show me on a month basis what I need to do. So my technique for so let me back up. So I take that information that I've gained, birthdays, anniversaries, close dates, pets, kids' birthdays, and I put those into my CRM underneath that client. So then monthly, at the end of each month, usually the last Monday of the month, I will pull up that calendar for the next month. So like I just did this. This is for May. These are all the cards that I'm going to be sending, all of the touches just from that source. Okay. So I will write them down. Like I have Bennett Martin. He's a young child. And it's his birthday. This is a house anniversary. So and I'll show you examples as I go through. And then this one, this is our agent. I put my agent's birthdays, anniversaries in there as well, because they always get something from us as well. Wedding anniversary I do for a W. And the reason, this is my little quick cheat sheet. So then when I go to my huge box of cards, which here's a tip, I'm going to give you quick tips. Store your cards like this, not folded, because it takes up less space. Okay. And I divide them. I have dividers for, anniversary, pet sympathy, new baby, kid birthday, adult birthday, et cetera, anniversary, wedding, whatever. And then this tells me, I see how many house anniversaries, and I just need to pull those cards. I see how many birthdays, and I pull that many cards. Okay, so I'm trying to show you sequentially what do I do. Okay, so then I have this, and I have my envelopes that I pre-address. I pre-address each of them, and I put the date. Steve, do you see that? Your wife's going to get that here shortly.
I do see that. Thank you as well.
So this is Renee's birth date. I never put my stamp on until right before I mail. And I only mail things on the first Monday of every week. Okay. So then I know what things need to be mailed 4 days before that, if that makes sense. So I keep them all, this is all finished. Then I keep this right on my desk. And every Monday I pull out the next week's mailings, put the stamps on, and send them. Okay. So let me go through exactly what do I send and how do I send it. So for that little boy, Bennett, here's a tip. If you're writing cards to children coming from a teacher, former elementary teacher, don't write in cursive. They don't teach cursive anymore. They can't read it. So you need to do it in printing for children. Cursive for adults obviously is fine. But like for Bennett, happy birthday, Bennett. Hope your special day is awesome, just like you. And for kids, I always sign it, your friends, Kelly and Craig. Always your friends, Kelly and Craig. It makes it more personal for them. And then what I do, two different things. And you can do this in any way that if you know a local ice cream vendor, pizza, coffee, whatever you want to do. These are ones that I use. There's a local ice cream place here called Josh and John's, and I reach out to them. And this is a $5 value gift card for ice cream. That's huge for kids, huge. I only pay $2 for these. Okay, so I've done these for years, and I just slip this in here, and that's what he gets, $2. And we've had families, our families who have, 8, 10 children, they will be at the ice cream parlor, take a picture of the entire family and post it on social saying how much they love us. Thank you so much for a night out, ice cream or whatever. It's a big deal for them. Another thing that I just started doing because someone pointed out to me, they said, and you can take this either way. I've already prepaid for these $2, but the face value is $5 for my clients. But I don't know if this is going to get pitched or not. So it's like a $2 bill that could be used or just thrown away. But I'm already out of pocket on this. So another concept that another agent turned me on to is giving out a free pizza. I don't pay for this until the end of the month. I've partnered with a local pizza place and I've said, this is what I want to do. I'm going to offer just a large cheese pizza to people for their birthdays. And here's their locations. I write their name here when I send it out. So when the pizza place collects it, and at the end of the month, they have proof that they came, then I only am charged for how many that they collect. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's what I've done. So this is a bigger ticket item, but I'm not out of pocket yet. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's what I do for birthdays. So adults get one and children get one. Either way. House anniversaries. I went on Canva and I created this little card, Happy House Anniversary. And on the back, it just says, here's to another year filled with wonderful memories. Thank you for letting us be a part of it. We are so thankful for you and for your referrals. And I always want to include how thankful and grateful I am for them and or their friendship. First and foremost, before any referrals, I will ask for referrals, but that's not why I'm doing this. I want them to know that I've thought of them, you're special, and I want to acknowledge you. That's most important to me. So then I always write a little handwritten thing on here. Just, we can't believe it's been 6 years already. We are blessed to call you our friend. If ever you need anything, give us a call. That's it.
Hey, Kelly. First off, this is awesome. And I can already see like the powerful reciprocity that you build into your business operating this way. And I know there's people on here that are going, wait, so you're sending out some cards. How is this building a big business? This is building a huge business. For anyone who doesn't know, by the way, anybody who's running a massively powerful, huge business like Kelly and Craig do, who are also really focused on reducing their expenses so they get to keep most of their money.
Yeah.
not just have to recycle it back into their business.
Mhm.
Building a powerful referral base inside your client cohort, right, where you take care of your
Yes.
people and you keep them. This is part of it. And what I can see from this is people feel remembered. And the reason I know that, and everyone on this call, think this to yourself: when was the last time you got a handwritten thank you card from anybody who's a professional in your marketplace? Even if they're trying to do business with you and you freaking know it, when was the
Yeah,
last time you got something handwritten? And I can tell you, for me, it's been like 10 years.
exactly. Well, if you've done any following of Brian Buffini, he's a huge fan of writing daily note cards. And when I am in flow and doing that, he's a minimum of 3 note cards a day. And he has done his research, and the most successful professionals and just the best human beings pretty much on the planet, they write daily notes to people. And it doesn't have to be any big deal. I was thinking of you today. I hope you're doing well. Let's get together soon. That's it. Send it. No business cards. No business cards. Period. I never send business cards. Because that's you're shoving it in their face. Be human first. So when I'm in flow and I do daily cards, just note cards. These I do all my birthday cards and all that stuff. I do this 1 time a month, and then they're ready to go. I don't want to do all this every single day. I don't have time for that. I will make time for daily note cards, 3 a day, to whoever. Another tip is to keep note cards in your glove box, like you're in your car glove compartment, already pre-stamped, self-addressed, whatever. Like, for example, if I'm at my cleaners, I love my cleaners. She's my alterationist. I love my cobbler. If they've done something that's phenomenal, or even if they're not, I send them a note and I say, I just want to say how much I value you. And it's right there. How many times have we gotten in our cars going, wow, that was really great service at that restaurant. When I get back to my office, I'm going to whatever, fill out the blank. We never do it. Never
What
do it.
feedback do you get from people on this, Kelly? I mean, are you hearing back from people? I would assume.
Yeah, they love it. I mean, it's one of those things where it's just like, wow, thank you. Thanks for thinking
Right.
of me.
Because it's so above and beyond. It so
Yeah,
differentiates you.
so unexpected, especially in this day and age.
Yeah, I
So,
love that.
yeah,
Especially for Craig, this is Craig, everybody. With children never get anything in writing, handwritten anymore. Children
nothing in the
don't
mail.
get mail.
No.
So I'm sorry, unmute myself. I don't know if that works if you both are.
Yeah, that's okay. I can
But,
explain. So
yeah, it's definitely good.
so basically, I mean, think about it. When you go to get your mail and you have the stack of mail, what are the first things you pull out? The handwritten notes. 100% of the time. I'm not going to go to a bill. I'm not going to go to some stupid ad. I'm going to go to a card. Someone took the time and thought of me to write a card. You're darn straight. I'm going to be opening that first. So kids especially, they love getting mail. Anniversaries, I just say, here's so many more years. I don't send anything with this. It's just a card. People are just amazed that I even send a card because no one does it anymore. Any questions so far with what I'm talking about? Just unmute yourself and ask. No?
You should tell them where you get
Okay.
your cards.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm really, really frugal, which is a good thing because like Jeff said, it's important to make money, but it's more important to know and try and facilitate to bring home, to keep as much of that money as possible. So I'm really, really frugal on where and how much I spend for my cards. So I never buy like straight retail cards, like $4 and $5, $6. That's criminal to me because that's just filling a landfill eventually, to be honest. The max I spend on cards is about 32 cents. So I buy them in bulk, usually from Current. If I'm in a pinch for something special, like a graduation card or I don't know, something weird, I don't know. I'll run over to the Dollar Tree store and you can get 2 for $1, I guess it is. But that's the max I'll spend per card is 32 cents usually. That's right around my budget. Because postage is going up, just FYI, I wanted to let you guys know that. Postage stamps are going up. So if you buy in bulk the forever stamps now at this current price, they are good forever. You won't pay the exorbitant amount. They're almost doubling amount shortly. So card cost, yes. So for example, this house anniversary card is going to a gal that we sold her house 6 years ago. And we've received 3 additional sales referrals from her. So that's a good ROI for me. It's probably about $30,000-$40,000. I'm going to take the time to drop something by at her house and send her a house anniversary card.
Hold on, Kelly. That is an absolutely impossible ROI for anybody who didn't just crunch the numbers on that.
Yeah.
Let's grab a calculator because this one's worth it just to make sure that we all understand what just happened. Kelly said she sends like 32 cents, right? Let's just say that she sold even or sent 5 of those to get those 3 referrals. All right. So she spent $1.60. All right. And then made $40,000. Just to be clear, divided by 1.6 means she made 25,000 times her money back. As a percentage, it's a hell of a lot. So yeah, do this. Right?
It's worth taking your time. It's worth taking your time. And I try to encourage agents, if it's a downtime, wow, like kind of right now, like our market's weird and it's shifted and it's, readjusting, which is great. If you got some downtime, start writing notes. Start writing real brief notes to people. You don't have to pick up the phone. I mean, I know everyone's afraid of picking up the phone. Just write a note. I mean, it's huge. It's really powerful. House anniversaries, real quick. And I'm going to jump into pop-bys stuff that I drop off to people. Another example, another couple that we drop pop-bys and are included in this. I have not sold to this couple. They have not been real estate clients of ours. They are friends of ours, but they are our cheerleaders. They have referred to us and they get pop-bys, they get birthday, anniversary, celebrations, all of that. Everything that I'm talking about with clients, they get as well. And all of us have about 6 to 10 cheerleaders that are on the sidelines. They need to be included in this because you want to be on the top of their minds as well. We've gotten 8 sales from this couple who are our cheerleaders. It's worth the time.
That's insane.
Yeah. And then another couple we've sold and helped them buy and sell, and they're also our friends, and we've also got two other sales from them as well. House anniversaries, another really great thing to do for house anniversaries. You can either do it like year 1, year 5. In between those, you can just send another house anniversary card or whatever. I like to do a special pop-by that looks really expensive, but it's not. This is a Spanish sparkling white wine that I love, and it's got pewter. I don't know if any of you have ever had this. It is phenomenal. It's really good. It looks really bougie, really expensive. It's a pewter base. This is $22. I put this in a bag. I put a nice bow on it, and I put on whatever significant house anniversary celebration you're doing. I put this without the address on it, attach it to it, and I usually drop it off at their house if they're home. I never leave booze on the porch if they're not going to be home. That's not wise. So this is a good bang for my buck. For $22, this is a very good impression. If you don't like to leave alcohol, or if they don't drink alcohol, just do a sparkling cider. Put a couple of, plastic glasses in there or whatever. Call it a day. Okay, that makes a big impact for people. So moving on to pop-bys. Make pop-bys as easy as possible for you and your schedule, because we all have to have lives as well. We're not just realtors 24/7. It's important for us to keep that delineation and have good boundaries with that. You choose if you want to do pop-bys monthly or quarterly. Some people do them either way. And honestly, it depends on my schedule of what's going on in my life at that point in time. is what I decide to do. But let me share something with you. This is a, it's not there. It's not there.
Oh, it is. It's that. It's the one with the Facebook on it.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me
share that.
Let me share this for you. This is another tip on how to, for example, if your clients don't fill out, for some reason you're missing a birthday or an anniversary or a kid's birthday, I'm going to teach you something on how to get this information. I call it Facebook stalking or Facebook investigations. It's totally fine. They don't care. They're happy to get the treat. So if you have someone that you need information on, right? You need to investigate. This is an example. So you go to their page, okay? And over here in the 3 dots, I don't know if you guys know this. You guys probably all know this because you're all so smart. Drop down and do a search. So now you're searching within this person's page. And I'm going to type in birthday. And then boom, she tagged somebody up here, but now it says, happy birthday to Mark Winland. That's her husband. So if I didn't have that information on a form, they chose not to fill it out, I can still get that information because everybody posts about birthdays, kids' birthdays, anniversaries on social media. Some don't. They're a little bit more tricky, but then sometimes I just text them and ask them. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, so then the next one I wanted to show you was, this is,
share that again.
I know I'm trying to figure out, oh, okay.
There.
Let me show you. Okay, so this is
Kelly, while you're finding that, I just want to point out to everybody, this is like real CRM work. I hear people say sometimes like, what am I supposed to do when I'm quote unquote cleaning up my CRM? Part of it is augmenting your CRM so that you actually have the appropriate information to be able to empower yourself this way with these birthday reminders, etc. This is great work to be doing in your downtime.
Okay, so for example, I usually fill out this calendar toward the end of the year, hopefully before the holidays. Like Halloween is usually when I'm sitting around trying not to eat candy. I try and fill this out. And I just do kind of ballpark ideas. You can search on Pinterest for pop-by ideas. You can go on, there's many Facebook pages for pop-by ideas. And just try some. Try some and see if they work and see if you like them. See if they're financially viable. That's another big one. Also, I try and make them as evergreen as I can. So for example, an evergreen one that I did just recently is a spring, it's like a birdseed bell. Oh, sorry. Okay, let me go over this first. So this is my calendar, and you can kind of see, I fill out, what I want to do in my pop-bys for January, windshield washer fluid, powdered donut. It's just for a certain thing. And then the yellow ones, the things that I highlight in yellow, can be mailed. Can be mailed. That saves me a lot of time driving around town. So I highlight these ones that can be mailed. The pink is a contest. If you want to engage your sphere, like I have about 50 to 60 that I deliver every month or every quarter, depending on what I choose to do for that year. Pinks are contests. So if you want social media engagement, you can do a contest that then they would have to post pictures on a page on your social. And that gets some good engagement and the kids love it. But yeah, so I kind of go through here and I do the tagline, I do the source of where to buy the items. And Amazon isn't necessarily always the cheapest. Like for example, I got these. This is a summer pop-by I did. These are Otter Pops, Cool Pops. I got these at the dollar store. And I did a really cool label, fun ribbon. And on the back, it said 4th of July fireworks displays on where to go to see fireworks. That part of it is not evergreen, because if you don't get these out before 4th of July, then it kind of is like, well, what happened there? So do you see what I mean? So I would prefer just to do it this way, because then it's like, have a great summer. You have all summer to deliver these. You're not pressed for time to get them out by a specific date. Does that make sense? For example, this one was time sensitive. This is an actual glow in the dark Easter egg hunt I did. You can buy these glow things on Amazon and you stick them in the eggs and you just do a glow in the dark one. But I did it as just hanging on the door and be done. But to be honest with you, I really don't like the ones that are date specific, because then that puts pressure on me that I have to deliver them within a certain time period. And I don't like that. I like a 3-month time period as opposed to a 3-day time period. A lot less stress.
Bird feeder.
Okay, so the bird feeder I just did. Here's another one that is more evergreen. I just did a sticker and I did, happy spring, whatever. And I said, know anyone who's outgrown their nest? Don't let them get their feathers ruffled in this changing market. Let us help. Maybe it's time to fly the coop and find their dream home. And then I did a QR code for them I'm always putting QR codes now on my stuff. So then they can actually go to HomeBot and start getting their reports, which is another monthly touch from me, an email. Monthly touch.
Show them what it looks like on the other side.
Oh, it's a birdseed bell. And these I ordered, you can get them at Walmart. The place I get them are much cheaper, so it's just a couple bucks. That's a good one. You have to be careful on this because it crumbles. But these are the fireworks glasses that I sent out. These can be mailed. So if you notice, it's nice and long. I mailed these in long legal size red envelopes, so it stood out in the mail. And that's one that I don't have to deliver. That makes sense? And this is one that can be time specific, and it has the where to go see the fireworks displays on the back. People really love these, and they'll reuse these over and over again. So the wrapping paper. So everybody has heard of the wrapping paper delivery in Christmas. I've done this, and I usually have a thing of tape hooked onto it. But here's the key. I'm not going to spend $3, $4, $5 for a roll of wrapping paper. I spent 49 cents for this roll. But I bought 100 of them 5 days after Christmas at like 80% off, and I paid 49 cents. I store them in my garage, in my basement, but you got to get the storage box that they come in, at the stores. Don't leave with just these, or they're going to be all over your house and you're going to hate them. So I've done this not last year, but the year before. So I'll do it again this year. So I don't do the same thing every single year. Does that make sense? And these I just leave on the front porch. So that's a tip for this year coming up after Christmas. Look for those sales, buy them and store them. Just realize it's an investment as you go to do that. Let's see. Making them evergreen is really, really important because that allows your time flexibility. Did the pop-by calendar. Okay, so how I do my pop-bys, I prefer to stop and drop. I'm not a stop and chit-chat, because I'm a chit-chatter. I'm a self-proclaimed chit-chatter. And I like to stop and drop, but what I do like to do when I do that is, and I don't care, I'm not going in like slippers or anything like that. I look nice. Sometimes I'm in my workout clothes, sometimes I'm in my work clothes, whatever, but they see me. They don't see somebody that I paid that they don't know, a stranger coming to their door. They see me. And whenever I go up to the front door, I'm always waving when I take a picture of what I'm leaving because they have a camera. I'm always smiling. I wave and I take a picture. And then I immediately text them a picture of what I left them. And then I do a text shortcut. If I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. So basically what you do is I take a picture of the pop-by, and if you go into your phone, your iPhone, you go into settings. Let me think of how I do it because I'm not doing it right now. You go into settings and then you go to general. They're the shortcuts, the keyboard shortcuts. You go to settings, general, keyboards, text replacement. And then I write, like for this last one here that I just did, I wrote in there, happy spring. We're thankful for you as clients and friends and hope this new season is filled with much growth. If you or someone you know ever has a real estate need, we'd love to help. And I did some cute spring emojis and I said, Kelly and Craig. And if I did my shortcut was SPB. So anytime I went to go text, I took the picture of my pop-by on the porch and I said, I text them that picture and then I did SPB. I set it up. That is telling my phone that now you're going to substitute my greeting. So I only do SPB, boom, I take off. That's it. For each house that I drop at. If they're home, if they're out, I might stop by depending on how my schedule's going, or I'll, hit them on the way back. But another time-saving tip that really, really has helped me with delivering pop-bys is using my Apple Maps and using guides. So when you go into your Apple Map, when you open up your Apple Map, here, I'll show you on here. Okay, so I just opened up my Apple Map. Then just scroll up and you'll see my guides. Do you see that right there? My guides. So I have put all my pop-by addresses in their region in my city. So if I'm running errands, personal errands, I've got my pop-bys in my car. If I'm running errands and I'm running errands along, let's see, I'll show you these are all my guides. These are all my areas that I deliver in. Okay. So if I'm running errands, let's just say, if I'm running errands along Powers Boulevard, I click my Central Powers location. These are all my clients, my pop-by people in that area. So I will do that area when I'm in that area. I'm not going to drive all over town wasting gas, or in my case, charge on my car if I'm not in that area. If it's a pop-by day, I'm going to go by areas. But if I'm out running errands just for my personal self, then I'm going to try and do pop-bys in that area and just kill two birds with one stone. So utilize this. This is really, really helpful. And it'll give you the directions.
Kelly, that's majorly powerful. And by the way, just for anybody who isn't an Apple user, Google has a similar feature in Google Maps. So you can use the same thing there. And same thing with keyboard text replacement. Just search text replacement in your whatever Google or Android device you're using. All phones, major phones, have this feature now as well. So I love these because these little efficiency hacks, they don't seem like much until you do them 180 times and you're like, oh yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot of time savings. It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. They've saved me a lot of time. And what I love about doing the auto text greeting, I make it kind of evergreen. So you can add each one. You can say, hi, Karen, or whatever. I just say, hey guys, or whatever. But I love the replies, whether they're home or not. They'll say, oh, thank you so much. I can't wait to get it when I get home. Or my boys have already eaten the cinnamon rolls. There's none left for me, or whatever. It's great. And then I can start a dialogue with them, usually in between other deliveries, or later that night when I'm done delivering and I'm having a cocktail or whatever, then I can review them and take more time and invest, and really dig in and start asking questions and get some feedback and see how they're doing in life. Let's see. Next thing, I talked about all the cards. Oh, okay. Here's another thing. So as I've done all my cards and my engagement in that way, I'm also watching on social media, on all the platforms. If I notice any life event for one of our clients or one of my cheerleaders that are not clients yet, but they're in my sphere of influence and they're in my nurture group that I do all of this for. Like, for example, if there's been a death in the family, we had some dear friends that we've become really great friends. We've not sold anything for them yet, but we've known them for years and they are the sweetest couple. She just passed away and we went to her service and it was beautiful. I just love that we can be humans and share in life's joys and sorrows. That's going to stick with somebody way more than a sports magnet only. Do you know what I mean? So, for example, I always look for, especially like kids celebrations. Kids celebrations graduated out of kindergarten. They're getting a card for me, or I'm going to either take a, download that picture of that graduation from kindergarten and I'll put it in a frame and drop it at their house. They will love that and they will display it and tell all their friends. One thing that's been a really big, powerful point of contact is when my friends, our sphere, if they've lost a pet, people post that on social media because that's a big part of their family. And so I found my daughter went to school with a girl who was a very talented artist. And I said at one point in time, would you be able to make a sketch of so-and-so's pet for me? And she said, oh yeah, just send me, 3 or 4 pictures. Guess where I got the pictures? On Facebook. Because they're going to post, I miss my Annabelle so much. She meant so much to me, and they're going to post all their favorite pictures. So I download those and I send those to my artist friend, and she sends me the sketch, and then I get these frames. They're plastic frames. I get, I think, a set of 6 or something like that off Amazon, really inexpensive. And she does these sketches for me. That's a sketch. And it's I think she does about 8 by 10. She does the name of the pet and then she signs it. And then she usually, when she's at college, she mails it to me in a tube and I just frame it. And then I package it like this. Once again, these are from Dollar Store. I don't buy expensive. I don't step foot in a Hallmark store. They're totally overpriced. It's a ripoff. So this is all from Dollar Tree. Here's another one she did. This is another one that she did. You can see that on the reflection there. And I drop these off and people love them, but bring tissue because as soon as they open it, and I love being there when they open it, the waterworks start and people will post about it and just say how special it made them feel. And that's my goal. Nothing about real estate comes with these. Nothing. It's just, I see you, I hear you, I know you're hurting. Here's how I'm going to be human with you first. Okay. Anybody can find a local young teenager, talented teenager to do this. And the price of this, she wanted to charge me $20 for these. And I said, there's no way I'm paying you $20. I'll pay you 40 or 50 bucks. And that's what I pay her now because that's worth her value. And now that's a huge profession of hers. So that's what I do for those. And I always have a sympathy card that goes with that. Let's see. Any questions on that? Questions? No?
I mean, let me say something like, you have to mute I don't think it'll both be unmuted. No, yeah. Okay. But I think can you hear me, Jeff, all right?
Yeah, he muted me.
Yeah. I mean, I guess one of the things that we've talked about in the trainings as well, like how do you sort of stay top of mind with somebody? And one of the things, for example, something like the picture that we had drawn, we have gone into people's houses and seen those mounted on their walls. They put them up on, which is amazing. But also, it's like, every time they see that picture, they have, obviously fond memories of their pet, but then they also equally go, oh, Craig and Kelly gave us that. It's like, it is such an easy way to just, have that top of mind experience for your clients and sort of own that. I talk about in their mental Rolodex. How do you own the real estate card in their mental Rolodex? That's a great way to do that.
I love that. And it's so personal. It's truly heartfelt. I mean, I know you guys, this is not just some ploy for like the sympathy
No.
play, etc. It's a truly heartfelt gesture. And at the same time, it's a great business move because of exactly what you just said. You're creating literally an emotional anchor with that person. In neurolinguistic programming, we would call that an emotional anchor. Like every single time they see that, maybe a lot of times when they think of their pet, they're going to have positive emotions, those flooding of emotions, and it connects back to you in a very positive, heartfelt, and contributory way. Like, without a doubt, that person loves you and wants to care for you too, because that's how that has to feel. That's just the human condition. That's how we work. And that bodes well for them potentially wanting to at some point say, oh, my friend did have a real estate need. I should send that to Craig and Kelly. They're so sweet. And that's the move. That's what we're talking about today, which is great.
Yeah. Okay, a couple more things before I can take questions, and if you have any specifics that we can dig into. A couple other touch points that we do to keep engaged is HomeBot. I mentioned that a little bit before, and that's the monthly reports that go out. And we watch those to see how their interaction is going with that. So then that will help spur either a text or a phone call about, I see you're, looking at this component, whatever, how can I help you with that? Do you have any questions on that? Or do you need clarification, et cetera, et cetera? Another way that
we spend $35 a month on that. Yeah, we send out 900.
Yeah, $35 a month. It's a really great investment, and it's a huge value. For $35 a month, we send over 900 HomeBot reports go out to people, and that people are engaging with those. And you can send them to as many properties as they own. They can get one for that property, which is great for investors as well. So it's just a great pathway. It's like a warm welcome to invite conversations to happen. Another way we do that is we send out Good to Be Home magazine. We send these out, and it's crazy how many clients love this. They'll text me and say, I loved this article this month, da, 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 and then I can have a conversation with them. Or I can reach out to them and say, did you see the article on page 25? I thought of you when I read it. What did you think about this point? Da, 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 da. But you got to know what's in the magazine. So that says a lot. And it's you're not talking about real estate necessarily. It could be something about real estate in here, but it's a great invite to have a conversation or even a note. Like, hope you're liking the magazine, feel free to let me know if you prefer it a digital way, because I send these out snail mail, like physical mail. Some people may not want that. So it's really good to check in on them, because if they're trying to eliminate paper and trying to go all digital, that's a great touch point as well, because then you can switch them to an electronic subscription and honor their wishes that way. So it's not just thrown away. Another way we reach out to people is every so often we do a VIP client dinner, and that's for people who have referred us clients. And I don't mean referred us clients that bought or sold. Any referral gets to be recognized, because that means that they went to bat for us and they believe in us. So I'm going to respect that and celebrate that. So any referral that we get, whether anything came of it or not, gets invited to the client appreciation dinner. And there's usually a giveaway for during that night, but it's usually at a local restaurant. But that doesn't happen every year. I wish it would. I'm not that organized. But real quick, I wanted to go over a couple more of my pop-bys. There's lots of ideas out there. This was a really fun one this summer. It's a s'mores pop-by. And once again, I make it as a evergreen, so it's a summer, so I can keep them in my car. And not necessarily this one, because depending on where you live, if it gets really, really hot, this chocolate's gonna melt. So sometimes you gotta plan around that. But it's just a s'more kit, really simple, less than $5. So that's a fun one. Another one you can nail is this one I did. I did it in a padded envelope because of what was in it. Threw a little filler in there, and it was a reminder to change their clocks. And or not to change their clocks, but to change their smoke detectors. So I sent a battery, and then I did a magnet with my information that they could put that on the fridge as a reminder to do. And that's what I sent. And it's less than $5. It's actually probably less than $2. Maybe $3 with the shipping, but just simple stuff like that. They're all out there on the interwebs, Facebook. There's lots of pages for pop-by ideas. Just make it simple. I would say start small. You can pay somebody to put them together for you if you want. I like the creative outlet of it, putting them together. There is one pop-by that I do every year, and it's my most expensive pop-by at $7, but it's probably the most enjoyed, and you'll see why as I show you the picture. Let me show you what I give out for Thanksgiving. Everybody does pies for Thanksgiving, Costco pies. I want to stand out and be different. And I don't do pies. I don't like Costco pies. So I work with a local bakery here, small business owner, and he makes me custom, half a dozen custom sourdough cinnamon rolls. And I put them in, he puts them in these tubs, and I pick them up usually the day or two before I deliver them the week of Thanksgiving. Some of my team does it the weekend before Thanksgiving, and that's fine. I do a couple pickups or whatever, but I just get the ribbon at Costco. Raffia is on Amazon, just a little sprig. These little leaves are from Amazon. I just punch a hole in it, and I do this card on Canva and print it locally or through Canva. They have pretty good pricing, and boom, it's done. It's great presentation, and it's something different that I'm going to stand out and not do like everybody else does with the pies. So that's pretty much it. And those pies, I think they're getting expensive. They're like over $10 each now. So these have been a really great response from clients. And I give them to some vendors too while I'm out and about doing that. Yeah. So that's my big one. That
is so cool. And I have to say what I like about it too is it's like similar, but it differentiates you, Kelly, which is incredible. Yeah. So help me with this, because you were saying start small. And I know for like, any agent who wants to get to your level of production where they're doing 4, 5, 6 deals a month and just like exploding at the seams and being incredible, like, where do you start, right? So, okay, I don't have a ton of money. I don't have a ton of time. By the way, I personally believe if you're working with one deal a year, you probably do have a ton of time, but maybe I'm full of shit. Maybe you're doing something else. And I know other responsibilities show up, right? Like a lot of people are parents, or we've got other things going on, or maybe I work another gig and this is a side thing. Okay, whatever. But like, where would you start if you were starting all over? What do you think? Where's the biggest bang for the buck in terms of getting deals or reciprocity or building that relationship, whatever the metric is?
Yeah, I definitely think 100% is the monthly cards that I send out. It doesn't have to be anything, especially for the kids' cards. You could put some stickers in there and they will be over the moon because it's novel. It's a surprise. It's real snail mail that they get to open. They get to go to the mailbox. Oh, so it's a big deal.
I love that. And it's
And
so personal.
it's so personal. And you're not just signing your name. I mean, literally, if you have an assistant, they can write the cards, I mean, if you don't have that time, but it's also kind of nice to know that it's not an assistant, that it's the same writing every
Right.
single time. It's me. I'm writing it every single time. I may write the same thing to each card that month, but they don't know that.
Yep.
But yeah, it doesn't have to be a $5 gift card, Starbucks gift card. It doesn't have to be a $2 ice cream gift card. It could be a thing of stickers. It could bring a flat bookmark. It'd be something like a recipe that you just stuck in, that you just printed out or whatever. Or you know what? It could just be hey, I'm thinking of you. Hope you have a super birthday because you're a super human being. And
Yeah.
sign your.
You know, when I first started in real estate, this is something I sucked at so bad. I mean, I just like look back and it was just shameful because I was constantly like looking for the next deal, looking for the next deal. And I was like, I don't have time. I'll take care of everybody later. And like, I'll do all that, schmooshy client stuff, in a few years once I've built a big book of business. But what I didn't realize is like, I'd have the big book of business if I just
Yeah.
took care of everyone from year one,
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
you're rebuilding all the time because you're not taking care of the ones you have. That's
Yeah.
like a farmer who like is a sheep farmer and they're like, I'm going to buy some more sheep and then I'm not going to feed them and then I'll
Mhm.
buy even more sheep. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
that's kind of just feed your current sheep. They'll
Yeah.
be all right,
Yeah.
That's great.
And you don't have to have a huge database to do this. We have social media at our fingertips. You see into people's lives on a daily basis, sometimes more than we ever want to know. And you can tap into them just to say on a human to human level, good job, congratulations, celebrate their wins and, be there for them with their struggles as well. Just be
All right, so
human.
so help me psychologically future pace some people who are on here who are like, I want to be Kelly when I grow up, and they're they're like, but they're just visualizing this, but they're trying to feel it. Like, what does the phone call sound like then? And I mean this, like literally, what do people say when they call you up and they're like, hey, my friend, or hey, my mom, or hey, my sister, or hey, we have a real estate need, but they're giving you that referral because I will tell you, I've received those phone calls and it's just so warm and fuzzy the way that it makes me feel. But
Yeah.
beyond that, you're not paying for that referral unless they're a real estate agent. You're not paying for the deal, which is an incredible thing. But how does that sound and what's it feel like when you get that coming in?
Well, it's fascinating because it's it's not we don't even talk about real estate, but it just builds this confidence in us as
Right.
humans.
Right.
So if they love you and as a human, then they're going to really respect you and love you as an agent and want to share that human being with their friends. And when we get those calls, it just it feels so good. I know that Craig went to one of our long-term clients and single mom, and I've been doing pop-bys for her. Oh my gosh, probably 7 or 8 years, something like that. And she's ready. She has to move out of state, and so Craig went over to meet with her, and her immediate response was, "Well, where's Kelly?" She always comes by. Where is she at? And so when he told me that, I was just, oh my gosh, my heart just bloomed. It was such a beautiful thing. I mean, it was so sweet. But also to tap in on that, because I invested my time with Maria, she always would text me, thank you so much. You're so sweet, or oh, I missed you again, or whatever. But she there was no second thought. Like she would never use anybody else because of my investment. It wasn't dollars and dollars and dollars. It was time. It was time.
Right.
And she literally, you're not going to go up against other agents, they're not going to interview, because if you're not engaged with your clients and you kind of fall off and somehow you get back in line with them right when they're about ready to sell, you know what? 9 times out of 10, they're going to be like, well, hi, yeah, I'm interviewing a couple other agents as well, because it's been crickets.
Right.
So how do they know if you're still the great same person you were way back when you sold at their house 7 years ago? Where if you're staying engaged with them, they automatically know that's my realtor,
Well,
because
and I
we
can
have
say
this
very
relationship.
confidently, Kelly, I built my business calling expireds, which are people who have been listed with an agent. Now they didn't sell. And now I'm calling up and saying, hey, I'd hate for you to end up with a weak agent at a weak moment again, right? Because I'm assuming their agent didn't sell their house because of weakness. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But here's what's funny. Some people would never, ever list with me. It doesn't matter how great I am at selling. If they had this kind of agent relationship, they're like, no, I'll just go with our agent again. I'm like, you mean the same one who didn't sell it last time? They're like, yeah, that one. Thanks for calling. Click. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, wow. First off,
Mm-hmm.
respect to that agent for building a relationship that I
Mm-hmm.
can't mess with, because honestly, it's not disruptable. And this
Yeah.
is where people are like, well, I worry, like, what's AI going to do? Or what's a website's going to replace? A website's going to replace you if you have no value, which means you are literally worthless than the website. How do you be worth less than a website? Don't be a human. How do you be worth more than a website? Be a freaking human. It's the thing that Kelly said at the beginning of this call. In fact, I wrote it down in the chat at the beginning. You said literally be human first, real estate second.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a key takeaway in this, because if you do that, you build a business nobody can come in and boop with. They can't screw with your business, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where you get worried. There's two parts to a real estate business. Bring people in. Part two, keep them in. Don't lose them.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
If they, and you hear this over and over, that they've got to know, like, and trust you. And I think it has to go in that order. They know you by relationship. They 100% have to have a relationship to know you, to see your face, whether it's on a doorbell camera, whether my hair, I just came back from the gym, whatever it is. They see me, I'm real. I am real. I'm not a stranger. I'm not a filler. I'm me. And to know me, and then they like me because I'm fun. I do fun stuff. I may not be there every single month, but I'm there and I think of them. Something's going to come to them. Some touch is going to be reaching out to them, and they know it's from me. And then if I've built those first two, they'll trust me. Whether it's trusting me to send their kids a birthday gift card, or trusting me to remember their anniversary, or trusting me to, like, oh, I forgot your birthday. It's late. Sorry, it's late. Da, 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 da. That says that they are important to me. Whether the card is late or not, doesn't matter. Then they will trust me with their life. They will trust me with their real estate.
I love that. Well, and also here's what's really cool about this too. And I know there's probably some people on here who are doing some of this work, which is great.
Of course.
One thing, my key takeaway today is this is a system. When you showed that screenshot and I saw your entire calendar, I'm like, okay, this isn't like something you kind of flirt with and maybe think about. Like, this is like you plan your year and then you work the plan, period. Right. Which I super respect. That's why you're a powerhouse business owner. And that's why you're here presenting. But what's also awesome is it's why you're getting top shelf results. You can't do this by accident, guys. This is not some like, oh, I think maybe I'll do a pop-by because I didn't remember to do the other things. No, plan your work. Look, it's April. Who cares? Plan April to April. There's a 12-month calendar and let it rip for the rest of your life, right?
Yep.
But this doesn't need to be something that waits. I love this because of how great it feels. That's additional compensation. Just for anyone who doesn't know it, when your business makes you feel like crap, it takes out of your bank account, right? We all get that. The angry other agent they're sad, or they're having to cancel a deal, or you get called up by a client, they're furious, or you ask them for a price reduction, they fly off the handle and tell you to bleep yourself. Who knows? We've all got stresses in real estate, and that's most of what we talk about because humans mostly talk about negative stuff. But when you get a call from somebody and they're in tears, or you get to go drop off the pet sketch, I thought that was such a beautiful idea, or something that builds a relationship value, and then you feel that human connection, it fills you back up. It recharges your battery from those downtimes in your business when you feel decharged.
Yep.
And I love this so much.
And also, I also wanted to encourage everyone, because I know when we go to classes or trainings or whatever, it can be a little overwhelming. Like I gave a lot of information, and that calendar, that year-long calendar, they're just suggestions. And I'm not saying that you have to do all 12 months. Don't all buy them at one time. That's insane, because you have storage and the cost of it and all of that. Think in little bites. Go, choose one thing. Choose, okay, I'm going to order birthday cards from Current. Go online and order that. That's going to cost you maybe $20, maybe. But just start there. Just start with those, or get note cards at the dollar store. You can get, usually it's a box of 10 for $1. I mean, that's pretty inexpensive. Just start somewhere and start small. Don't think you have to do all of it at once. Just say, okay, what is reasonable with my schedule? What am I going to do? Choose, like, how many more seasons do we have? We have summer, fall, and winter, right? Do one each season. You've got time to plan that, but make them simple. Don't make them, these huge baskets and all of that business. Clients don't need that. They don't want that. That's clutter. They just want to know that they were thought of, and that you took time to put something special together for them, and that it was either delivered or sent. That's all they want.
And start small with a budget too. I love that you've recommended this like kind of controlled approach, right? Agents are notorious for overspending in their businesses. Yes, everybody, 100%. By the way. And one thing that I kept hearing from you today is that you're awesome because you're frugal, which I think is like one of the coolest / sexiest traits of a human being. Like, I'm like, that is so awesome. Lexi is too, So like every time she's like, I got this for only like $1. I'm like, yeah, go girl. Right? Like why spend 10 when you can spend 1? It's so much better.
It's the same impact.
Frugal approach.
It's the same impact.
That's it. Really? You're not right. You're not buying extra like reciprocity. You're just buying extra crap. Frankly. Yeah, that's so smart. What's your mindset around that though, Kelly? When you're out there shopping for these items, is it just I want to spend as little as possible to get the return that I'm looking for, or to get the impact?
I think I like presentation, and I like something that's going to be usable. I don't like buying trash to make trash, if that makes sense. So usually it's something consumable, something that's fun, and not necessarily like these Otter Pop things. I gave these to all my clients, not just people who had kids, because adults like Otter Pops too. I mean, come on, let's be real. And I'm telling you what, I gave this to all my friends too. And you talk about a fun event, and like, even if you have like grown, like college age kids, are you kidding me? And in Colorado, it's going to be snowing on Easter. So these things glow through the snow, or you do them inside and the lights are out and everything. Oh my God, the adults love it just as much as kids do.
I was about to say maybe more, right?
Right? I mean, cocktails involved, whatever. But I just look for something that's unique. It's not, I don't know. I don't want to do what everyone else does. So it's got to be something different to me that stands out. Whether it's, I don't even know how to explain it. I just want
everything about what you're doing is different.
Yeah,
right.
Unique, but unique doesn't mean that I have to break the bank. I'm not spending $20 on every pop buy like a lot of agents do, and I'm like, no.
Well, that adds up.
Yeah, really adds up real quick.
Yep, that adds up, right? And then you're just limiting yourself. I'd rather spend what you're doing, $2, $3, $4, right, and then spend the rest going to Hawaii. So,
and also, I don't like to buy cheap things. I like to buy reasonably priced things, but not something that's gonna just fall apart. It's not worth it to me. I'd rather wait another month and save up and do 2 months worth of costs and spend maybe $4 as opposed to
Bingo.
two. Makes
Bingo.
sense.
I love it. Well, yeah, do it half as often. You can spend twice as much, same price. And I love the idea, by the way, we said earlier, like, listen, just start with one action. And by the way, my encouragement is always, right? Like when I talk to my business coach, she always tells me, listen, do one action today.
Yep.
Today. Like we've come up with this plan. It's great to have a plan. It's worthless to have a plan if you're not going to do anything. Do one action and do it today. That way you break through the noise. So whatever it is you guys are doing, like I don't care if it's go down to the dollar store and like check it out. Just walk through the aisles and figure out what you're going to do. Come up with a plan or buy some greeting cards in bulk, right? We put some web references to some of the things that you had mentioned while you were going there, Kelly. So this is really awesome. Let's open it up. And I know there's some people on here who probably have a question, and don't be shy, please, because if you have a question that you've even flirted with during this call, chances are 10 other people are having the same exact question. They're just also embarrassed or nervous to ask. So just unmute yourself, give us a question, and we'll wrap up strong here with the last 10 minutes, doing a little bit of Q&A with people from the community or any guests. And by the way, if you are a guest today, get back to the person who sent you here today. I know you're probably interested in why do we do this? What's this all about? Why is it connected to eXp Realty? Learn about it. Best decision I ever made, changed my life radically. So I just want to encourage you. All right, who's got a question? Unmute yourself. I can see some beautiful, bright, smiling faces. I want to see who's going to be first in the bravery parade here.
Hi, surprise. It's actually Christine, not Casey. We're both sitting here together.
Hey there.
That's awesome, Kelly. I've actually embraced the whole Buffini pop-by. Nancy Cruz is a Buffiniite for years upon years upon years. And so we have done the pop-by plan starting last year, going into this year. And so we obviously, it's always about like, okay, what are we doing next month? What's some creative way, some effective quality pop-by type of a thing. And I don't know if you'd mentioned something earlier. However, when you do the pop-by and you drop that off, how is it that you're communicating sort of with your client when you're doing it? The way we are is kind of where if we miss them, we're taking a picture, we're texting them saying, hey, sorry, I missed you. Is there any other types of follow-ups that you do from that pop-by scenario that I've possibly missed today?
No, just exactly what you said. I always take a picture of leaving the Popeye on the porch and then sending that via text. That usually gets the quickest response back from them. And then I do the keyboard shortcut and do the same text, kind of evergreen text to everybody that I dropped off at that point in time. And then that will spur usually a response back of even just thank you, or you're so sweet, or, oh, I was home, you should have, knocked on the door, whatever. But then I can always have a quick conversation later that night. I usually don't stop what I'm doing, or my pop-bys will take all day. And then I can engage in a conversation maybe later that evening with them.
Oh, awesome. How fun. Yeah, we've been taking like pictures, like literally of our smiling face with the pop-by at their front door. Sorry we missed you, sending it off. And we definitely get a response of, oh my gosh, you girls are so cute. Sorry we missed you too. Kind of scenario. And so the mailings, monthly, keep in touch type of a thing. I see that you're doing a magazine. I see you're doing the home bot. Also, I'm guessing some type of mailer in general.
Generally not. I don't do
the HomeBot.
Yeah, we do the HomeBot is the email aspect of it. Or you could put them on a quarterly kind of a rotation and send them just a note. But if I'm on social quite a bit as well, so I'm keeping abreast of what's going on in their life on social anyways. So if something pops up on there, then I will definitely be engaging either text, a comment on social, or a note or a card, an additional note or a card popped into the mail.
Okay. And so then is there a regular, besides those kinds of special specific check-ins that you're doing on a monthly basis that you're trying to stay in touch with your database otherwise? Okay.
I don't do newsletters. I just do this. I'm like, I spend good money on this.
Yes, I saw
And it's
that. I
really
looked it up.
great presentation and it's
Uh-huh.
really great articles and stuff. So this is my engagement with them. And I can I can always, email them. I can bulk email through KB Core or through Follow Up Boss and do a general thing like, hey, just touch and base, like, what did you think of this article or how are you liking the magazine?
Yeah.
Period.
And so do you guys actually have a like percentage right now based on your referral business or from your database working in this direction, like coming from your database, that you actually have a like percentage right now that you know of that you receive from your database?
Like my analytics for it?
Yeah, like what you're seeing from all of these efforts.
I'd say most of our business comes from referrals.
Most of our business does come from referrals.
We stop buying leads.
We don't buy leads.
Yeah.
We just don't believe in that. And we just get, as agents, we just get dependent on leads and we don't learn the skills on how to convert leads and then do that without having to purchase leads. So we like doing it old school. We like door knocking, we like sitting open houses, and we like relationship development.
Yeah. So, Austin Chevron here at EXP, he was last year or the year before, he was like #1 at EXP for the month of like August or September. And he was contributing it to the Buffini system that he worked. And he said 98% of his business was from referral and he was not paying for any leads. Yep. So just saying this absolutely is the way to go. We should have had more people on this. This is the way to communicate with our database.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Sure. Anytime. 100%. I mean, so many people, we've talked to quite a few, like with the shift in the market, it's been eye-opening who's freaking out and who is willing to think outside the box. Is it really thinking outside the box, or is it just going back to the basics on get out and talk to people, go door knocking? It doesn't have to be a hard sell. It doesn't have to, it's still human to human contact. People still need that. And people aren't willing to do that. And I think that's a downfall. And I think that if you embrace that, how do I be a human being? What are my strengths? It may not be picking up a phone and calling a stranger that way, as opposed to writing a note to a stranger is way more powerful. Going to their door and saying, I have value. Here's your house. This is what it's worth right now. Or this is the market. This is what's been selling. That's it. Here, I'm a human. I want to share this with you as a human. Have a great day. That's all you gotta do.
I love that. And Kelly, one thing that I think is really powerful as well, and we've interviewed a lot of top producers, and if you really dig deep on top producers like Craig and Kelly, like many others, the reality is once you start getting to production where they're bringing in $1 million a year, usually 60-70%, maybe a lot more percent of the business is actually coming off of this past client, which means not only does their business get bigger, but their net of that business that they get to keep gets bigger, right? It is so worthless. And I want to say this really loud so you all hear it, to make a ton of money and give all of it back into your business. That is ridiculous. You've done tons of work for no income.
No. And that's why we truly, when we first started real estate, we sat open houses every single weekend, to a weekend. We would door knock on one of those days as well. And it's the idea of paying for leads, paying 50 to 60% of your commission for these leads. That is crazy. Like, think about that. There's no way. There's no way that I'm going to give up 50 to 60% of the work that we go through to get to start to finish with that client. There's no way.
Well, and I love what Christine and Casey were saying there. We're basically like, with the changes that are coming, this is actually This might not be thinking outside the box. This might be remembering we have a damn box to begin with and get back in it.
Exactly.
It's like,
yeah.
get
And it's a
saved.
pretty basic box.
It's awesome, right? Like,
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's a great thing, right? Like, who doesn't want a relationship forward business where people call you up who are just loving on you all the time and saying, hey, I'd love to bring my friends and family into the fold. That is an amazing place to be. It's so much better than hammering the phones. And if you're going to hammer the phones, here's the thing. Then once you have a client, build the relationship and turn them into one of these.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, huge. Man, this is incredible stuff today, and I really appreciate it. I learned a ton. I was over here feverishly taking notes. We got so much great stuff, and we're going to get this out in front of the entire community. Kellie McHugh, everybody, out of Colorado Springs, Colorado. If you know of somebody who needs real estate help, send them her way. We'll put your contact information when we post this up on YouTube so that they can reach out to you. And anything else you want people to know before we sign off here?
Just it's kind of the golden rule. How do you want to be treated? You want to be a human being first and be treated like a human being. So just love on people you know and people you're going to know.
I love that. Well, what a great message from a great person. And it shined through today how awesome you are, that you love taking care of people. So I really, really appreciate that. And for those of you who are just joining us, reminder to get back to the person who invited you here today. Check it out. Listen, you owe it to yourself. Learn a little bit more about what the heck we're doing and why it's so awesome. All right, guys, until next time, bye, everyone.
Bye.